dolls. For many children, their stuffies are their most prized possessions. This AAPI month, we're highlighting a family who is using dolls created by a South Asian American company for more than just fun. As our Didi Lamba tells us, the toys are also educating children on their culture and faith.
I usually like to go to sleep with this one when I do, but sometimes I get afraid of sleeping with them because what if I squish them during the night and I wake up to this?
Nana Arteaga loves her Modi toys. They're her favorite things to play with these days.
He loves ladoos. Yum, 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 yum.
Not only do they give her comfort, but they're also educating her on her Hindu culture.
And she has a trident in one hand. She rides out on a lion, and she's the goddess of protection.
Founded by South Asian Americans, these plushes were created for children to stay connected to their Indian roots, which are inspired by ancient Hindu culture. Nana's parents, Reshma and Sergio, are deeply connected to their roots and are determined to pass that on.
In raising our children in a really intentional way where like our eldest feels comfortable going around saying, I'm Durga, you know, or like talking about the gods, or like, Mom, can I take my book in to show my friends? That to me is really a sign of like times changing and like we're doing something right.
It was important for Reshma to have her kids engaged in their culture. She learned about her own family tree when she was a little girl.
Very fortunate to know my paternal grandmother, who I think was maybe one generation removed from those who were brought over from India as indentured servants, or essentially, forced labor or slaves, really.
Without any material possessions, culture was the only thing her grandmother could pass down. Reshma grew up practicing Hinduism and celebrating Indian culture. She took part in its festivals with her Guyanese family, but often felt disconnected from other South Asians.
This one. As being Indo-Guyanese, you are often told, well, you look Indian, you present as Indian, but then there are people who might say, well, you're not Indian.
As a result, Reshma is trying to create an environment that is inclusive and is raising her daughters Hindu.
Some of our day-to-day living habits, like when we get up in the morning, like the first thing we do is we pray or shower and pray and then greet the sun.
Reshma doesn't want her daughters to feel less than others because of their culture or religion. It's important to her and her husband Sergio, who is Mexican.
I wasn't raised Hindu. I got introduced to Hinduism when I met my wife. It's really cool to see the girls, especially, at least with our oldest, because the little one's too young, embracing it on her own.
Raising strong, independent daughters isn't easy. Reshma and Sergio hope they can instill a sense of pride in their heritage along the way.
We're just hoping to, I don't want to say shield them, but at least provide them the tools that we had to learn much later in life, much later in life.
What another great piece. And Aditi joins us now to talk more about these Modi toys, which was founded by South Asian Americans. And Aditi, these toys were created for South Asian children in their mind, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And how beautiful are these toys?
I know.
They're bright and they're absolutely gorgeous. These Modi toys were actually created with a goal to empower the next generation of South Asian Americans who they want to stay connected to their cultural roots. One of the founders, Avni Modi Sarkar, says they hope to reach beyond just our community and also start some discussions amongst non-South Asians about our culture and the good morals associated with each toy.
Parents are looking for ways to teach their kids about diversity, representation, and just owning the skin that they're in. So whether they're looking for Hindu toys, Indian toys, or just cultural toys, I hope that we're the brand parents turn to when it comes to meaningful, educational, and fun resources.
And as a South Asian American myself who moved at the age of 14 from India, this culture plays a very important role in my life. And I know it's the same, Jody, for other South Asian Americans too. So to see these toys, to see the representation of culture in America,
yes.
And to see these beautiful toys tell them tales about positivity, about being a good person, about really being a good human, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm now seeing this, young generation sort of learn the things that I learned in India.
Right.
And I never thought that was actually possible in a country that was actually not our motherland. So it's absolutely beautiful, and I cannot tell you how amazing it makes me feel to not only know people like these, but to be able to bring these stories to life and present them on Spectrum News One.
And I was just going to tell you that that is probably one of your strongest gifts. You're a beautiful person inside and out, but you're giving us a vision of a different culture, and I appreciate you for that.
Well,
very much
you know
so.
what? The acceptance from you is very important too.
Aditi, you know, I love you. Thank you so much for coming in. And we'll check back with Aditi for more on this story throughout the day. Also,